Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Inept General with you with some more Total War Warhammer news. It was Total War Warhammer 2 announced today, confirmed. It's not a historical title. It's Total War Warhammer 2. It's not as triggering to historical fans as we thought the trailer might be, with conquistadors going through the jungles of Lustria, but it was a whole lot more information than perhaps we expected in some areas, and a little bit less information than we expected in other areas. So let's go through some of the highlights for you. We got the races, we got some of the legendary lords, so we know what we can look forward to a little bit. Let's kick off. Total War Warhammer 2 confirmed. Some of the news, overarching news rather than race-specific news. Universal capture, guys. You can take any settlement. That's the system they're going to put in place. Whether they use something similar to the population idea I proposed in my population cap universal kind of territory taking concept, which you can see popping up on the right-hand corner of your screens now. I don't know, but they've just said you will be able to take all areas of the map. But I do hope there is some limiters there because, again, Warhammer 2 shouldn't be a game about painting the map, I don't think, in my personal opinion. I appreciate the limits they put on territorial conquest. I think there could have been improvements on the system they used, but we'll wait and see what they did use. Hopefully it's something similar to the idea I posted a little while ago, but we'll have to wait and see. So aside from that, no word on naval combat yet, although they did say there'd be more news at E3, and naval combat would be a pretty great reveal to throw out at E3. I do feel bad for the Creative Assembly guys. The room they presented in didn't have the best audience in the world, so the whole presentation seemed a little bit lackluster. But on the whole, some really exciting stuff. I would have been on my feet clapping for some of it, but some people in the room, a bit more demure, a bit rubbish, really. But yeah, good for you guys at CA. So let's see what we got. First race. Dark Elves. This is Malekith. Malekith confirmed in the game. If you'd like to know a bit more about Malekith, again, check the top right-hand corner. I have done a lore video on Malekith as a likely legendary lord for Total War Warhammer already. That will have some of his lore, along with his weird relationship with his mother, which you should really check out. So Malekith, King of the Dark Elves. Dark Elves confirmed for the game. There's maybe a slightly better picture of him. It's him in the version that he kind of appeared later on in Total War Warhammer lore, where his face is covered in this kind of golden mask. But looking very cool. Not on his black dragon here, but I'm sure he'll have that as a mount later on in the game. So Malekith and the Dark Elves in the game. Now, these are Witch Elves. Now, I don't think any of these are meant to be Marathi, Malekith's mother. It's just showing Witch Elf units in the game. They have this very fierce kind of hair and eye makeup. The mistresses of murder, the wives of the elven god of murder, Cain. They are loonies with blades who know how to use them. They are confirmed in Total War Warhammer 2. Here's one about to get munched on by a dinosaur. And from that, you can guess that, yes, lizardmen have been confirmed. We'll go on to who their legendary lords will be a little bit later. In terms of legendary lords, they did mention that every race will start with only 2 legendary lords. So the Dark Elves, we have Malekith, and I have to assume the second one will be Morify or Marathi, depending on how you like to say it, who's his mother. She's the second most important person in the Dark Elves. She'll have to be the other one. It has to be her. I can't imagine who else it will be. And here we have High Elves confirmed. Teclis, this is one of the best living elven mage, Teclis, born a weakling. I'll have a bit of lore on him in a week or so, I think, for the High Elves, but not as of yet. But Teclis confirmed for one of the legendary lords for the High Elves, and he's dealing with the Vortex here. Apparently the Vortex plays a very large campaign issue, and if you guys don't know what the Vortex is essentially a magical spell brought on by the elves, which stops chaos from overrunning the world at any given moment. So they suck all the excess chaos energy away from the Warhammer world, and thus this seems to be the main campaign point that Total War Warhammer 2 is focusing on, this idea of the Vortex and the shutting down of the Vortex. And this is another image of Teclis here. Sorry, the image is a bit blurry, taken from a stream, guys, taking a screen capture from stream, but you can see there's a lot of lovely detail there, and I'm sure by the time this is up, the trailer itself will be up on the Total War Warhammer page, which I say you guys should definitely check out. And here's him at the Vortex, setting it up, which is a bit weird because the Vortex is already there, but I'm not sure exactly lore-wise how the campaign's going to play out, but I assume it's about maintaining and protecting the vortex rather than undoing. Maybe the Dark Elves are trying to undo the vortex. But who knows? Wait and see for that one. But that's Teclis doing some magical nonsense there. Some more High Elves. Some High Elf spears protecting their mage there. And here come the lizard men. This isn't the best picture I could get of him, but this is Khoq-Gar. Now, Khoq-Gar is a legendary lord for the lizard men. I was meant to have a video of him up before this press conference, but I decided to wait a little bit. So that should be up in a few hours in terms of Khoq-Gar and his mount there, Grimlock. So that's Khoq-Gar and Grimlock there for the lizard men, their legendary lord, a kind of melee-focused legendary lord with a spear. Actually, this might just be a generic one because he doesn't have his magical gauntlet on the other hand, but he does have the spear. So I'm going to assume this is Khoq-Gar anyway. Or at least if it's not, he'll definitely be in the game because they have all the models for everything they need to make him in the game. So Khoq-Gar there. And Mazdamundi, the Slan Mage Priest of the Lizard Men, confirmed in the game. I assume this is Mazdamundi here. He's not on his Stegodon, so maybe this is just a generic Slan Priest, but I'm going to assume that that's Mazdamundi as a legendary lord appearing, because I don't think they'd put a generic general in the trailer. I don't think they've done that before. In the last trailer, in the trailer for the first game, it was all about Karl Franz. So I have to assume this is Mazdamundi. And at the end of the trailer, a little tease for the fourth race, the Skaven, look like they're being teased. But because they're a tease and not in the actual trailer, this goes to my suspicion that the Skaven will be a pre-order, free downloadable content aspect. So they're going to get you to pre-order to get the Skaven. I can almost guarantee that at this stage, because if they were just going to be packaged in normally, why not just have them in the rest of the trailer? Why keep hiding them? Why keep just hinting at them? So my suspicion is Skaven, downloadable, free LC, if you pre-order the game. Otherwise, they'll give it to you for free a couple of days, a week after, or whatever they did with Chaos. And then they'll throw it in, then you'll have to pay for it. That's my guess with the Skaven. That also ties in with an aspect they mention about the Grand Campaign map, which I think they hinted at will be thrown in as a free part of content as long as you pre-order or buy the game within a certain amount of time of Total War Warhammer 2's release. I'm not 100% sure on the details on that. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at it and maybe put a correction in the comments below. But as from what I understood, it sounded like at the end of that presentation, they hinted that to have a grand campaign with the territories I have in Total War Warhammer 1 and Total War Warhammer 2, I have to buy the second game within a week of release or something along those lines so I can have that grand campaign. Otherwise, I'll have to download a special grand campaign map and pay for it. I'm, again, not 100% sure on that detail, guys. If I have made an error, do feel free to write a correction in the comments below. But that was just from my first hearing. I tried to get this up as quickly as possible, so I haven't had a chance to go back and have a look at it. But I will do after this, and I'll correct myself if no one has done in the comments below. But Skaven look like they're going to be the fourth race. That's cool. Love Skaven. Bit miffed if they make it a pre-order bonus again, but let's not blame Creative Assembly. Let's blame Sega for pulling the strings on that one. I like to blame Sega instead of CA. CA do good work. I like what they're doing. So that looks like about all the information we have on it there so far, guys. So Dark Elves, Lizard Men, High Elves. We knew it for a long time, but it's been confirmed today. Legendary Lords, Khoq-Gar, Mazdamundi, Teclis, Malekith. Waiting on the other legendary lords for the High Elf and the Dark Elves. High Elf, it's going to have to be Tyrion, his brother. If it's Teclis, it's going to have to be Tyrion. So Teclis and Tyrion will be the two legendary lords, I imagine, for the High Elves. And we know the two for the Lizard Men. And for the Dark Elves, it has to be Morathi or Morafai, however you prefer to say her name, as Malekith's mother. I can't imagine them putting anyone else if there's only two starting legendary lords. So we have it, guys. Confirmation. Woohoo! Super hyped. No date as of yet, but as they're going to be discussing more details at E3, I imagine we're looking at a winter release. So looking forward to that, guys. Hope you guys are too. Let me know what you're most looking forward to seeing in the game. We've had Pterodons confirmed. We've had a number of different units confirmed. I might make a more detailed breakdown of exactly what we saw in the whole trailer later on today. But this is just a quick reaction from me. Get it up there. Let you guys know what's going on. Super excited. Look out for my Legendary Lord lore video on the Lizard Men later on today. And check out my Dark Elf Legendary Lords video if you haven't already, to get a bit of information on who Malekith is and what his story is all about. All right, guys. As always, special thank you to my patrons, John and Reese, and a special thank you to all you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.